So, a while back, at Genericon, I talked about how this was the first game I ever played. Boo! Well, I was wrong. This is the first game that I ever played. Now, this is the game where all the trouble starts pretty much immediately. Like, you pick some of these classes, you just lost the game, and you don't know why. Well, all of a sudden, bam, stats. They're everywhere. Some of them don't mean anything. I beat this game and I don't know what half of those do. And then more stats. But then you didn't have enough just on top of that. Now this is the game on the Genericon. And it looks like it came straight out of the NES or worse. Like I don't even know what they're doing with that. Would you have identified that as a computer? Now then there's a shopkeeper. These are the guys that want you to walk out into the wilderness and find a bank book before they'll even do business with you. Like, what kind of bank does that? Or an inn that charges $1,000 to save money. What? And you start with only $2,000. That's a lot of money. But I know you want to know about the gameplay. What is this game like? All right, let's go on a little adventure. And here's me walking outside. It's going to be great. There's some plants. I'm going to punch those things lights out. Oh wait, that plant has like this deadly, super accurate attack that will kill you in 3 hits, like right out of the door.
You might have time to set up these next time.
I know, like what I'm getting at here. I'm going to grab a dagger. That sounds about right. Costs less than a night at the inn, you know, all kinds of good stuff. And then I can't move. It turns out that that stupid dagger is more than twice the total carrying capacity of my character. All right, I'm going to go back inside and sell it, but it's so heavy I can't move. So I'm just stuck outside the store holding my stupid dagger being like, well, now what? I gotta throw it on the ground. It's basically all of my starting money. And just start crying. Gotta go get some more cash. It's a good thing they give almost nothing per kill. Like, again, $1,000 to stay at the inn, $20 per kill. This is gonna be a bad game. And you might have noticed there's also a weight system. Everything weighs something. Some of the best armors are like 15,000, and the dagger was 2,000. And then money has weight, so you're constantly being screwed over by the game. You just go, gotta get some money, oh, you can't move anymore. Magic system, forget it. You picked the mage, you chose wrong. Especially because in boss battles, you can't use any magic at all, including cure spells, or open your inventory to use items. So you picked the mage class, you lost. That's the mage class. How else does this game screw you? Well, sometimes you'll be walking along, and in the middle of your RPG, you'll die by falling into an endless hole.
I'm going to fall!
So status effects, right? Well, it's poison, obviously. This is hungry. 4 times a day, your guy gets hungry, and he'll like being poisoned, only you can't use antidotes on it. You need to bring along rations, which are heavy and expensive.
Lightsaber.
Sleep. This is even worse. All your stats are attacked. You're totally ineffectual, and it happens once a day. There's pretty much no cure for it. But at least the plot makes up for it, right? Maybe not so much. Here's pretty much the whole plot. These guys got in a spaceship and slammed into the ground so hard that they found outer space in that hole. Do you remember that hole I fell in and died? That's where outer space is. So what's the deal with these guys? Well, they went out into space, and then, oh no, they're getting turned into monsters by some evil force. Now, I don't know who they were expecting to get this message, because the only computer in the world is buried in a tech fortress full of murdering robots under a lake. And the rest of us have swords and shields. Like, there's no way. But finally, we actually get to go out into space, which, like everywhere else, we walk around on space.
What?
So finally, we make it to the darn place, and inside is even uglier than the rest of the game. Like, it's incredibly bad. But then, tragedy strikes. It turns out the whole crew, like guys been fighting now, those are the crew of the ship. They've all been turned into monsters. How terrible. The real terrible, though, is right there. That thing is a teleporter on their ship back to Earth. So anytime they wanted, they could have come back to Earth. They didn't need me to come save them. They're just idiots. The actual plot isn't good. It's not even close. All you need to know is Kazak's the bad guy, and you gotta kill him. Now, a side note, the game does get a little easier over time. Now, the good stuff. You're probably thinking, all right, this is bad. But it's not unplayably bad. Let me tell you about unplayably bad. So first, there's these hidden areas of the game. You don't know you want to go to them, but you can't beat the game without going to them. So you just gotta search around the world to find it, like the Cave of the Dead. Here's a place that's like that guy talking about a cemetery. That's your only hint that there's a city in which the Cave of the Dead is. Like, you gotta know that that's what you're talking about. So you go search all the gravestones, and there's one on like every screen, and they're mostly full of traps, and it's awful. But hours and hours later, you can find this path. Correct.
Why, oh, why? Can't I tell me?
About the warehouse. So all right, you can't get into the warehouse, but like it turns out there's a hidden passage that no one will tell you about here, so it takes you a couple hours. Then you get there, bam, the warehouse. Do you see a cave in there? I know. All right, search all the treasure chests. There's nothing in some of them. You get a couple other things. Here's the real screwing part. You check one of those empty chests again. Oh look, a hidden passage. Like who goes around searching empty treasure chests once they know they're empty? No one. And then there's the City of Illusion, which is even worse. Here's the place you gotta go in order to do all this stuff, blah blah blah. You find a stupid thing, it takes you forever. And then it turns out that this teleporter, like you know what it is, but it turns out, guess what, it's teleporter. Now you can go to this place, which is huge, and there's nobody in it. There's no town, there's no people, there's no way of knowing where you're supposed to go. And you don't even know the City of Illusion exists because it's a City of Illusion. No one knows about it. So finally, you're here. What you have to hear is, if you were on the spaceship and you picked up the horn in this treasure chest somewhere, and you don't have to, but you could, and you come to this dimension and you stand right there, and you use the horn, you find the City of Illusion. Hooray. Well, you didn't know to go stand there or do any of that. No one will tell you about it. So how are you supposed to find it? I hate it. Then there's items. Like, the game doesn't want you to get items unless it wants you to get them in a certain way. Like the space compass. Here's a box. You gotta go find this thing to get to the spaceship. Well, here's a treasure chest with nothing in it, but there's something in it. I don't like something.
You know...
It turns out that unless the computer tells you you want something, and that something is a space compass, you can't pick it up. So now you gotta go all the way back and get it. But finally, we get to the end of the game. It's time to take down that final boss. We're ready. Well, how are we gonna find the dark thing? First off, we tell you that it takes forever to get ready with this. All kinds of equipment and garbage. It's terrible. This is even worse than the City of the Dead. If you kill a certain boss, and you get a statue of the boss, or the first dimension, you stand on top of this rock, and you hold up the statue at exactly midnight. You get to go and find the final boss. Otherwise, it says, I'm sorry, this doesn't work. Like, how many people are going to stand there and keep holding the statue on a rock all day? Especially if you don't know you're supposed to. It's just, I have no idea. But finally we get there, and it's incredibly ugly and huge. And there's another, oh no, we gotta find a hidden item. There's this fairy, and again, if you don't know you gotta rescue her, you can't rescue her. There's a lever that says, save the fairy. And you're like, nah. It's like, pull the lever, jerk. Okay. But then the game screws you one last time. Now, the domain is huge, and if you recall, you get sleepy every day and become totally ineffectual. Not good for the final boss battle. Fortunately, there's an item called the camping gear. At least 5 times more expensive than any other item in the game, including the best armor. I mean, really expensive. It doesn't restore MP. All it does is give you, is remove sleepy status 1. Okay, I bought it for this exact circumstance. Here we go. Are you kidding me? Okay. All you have to do is run through the whole thing really fast while knowing the exact route. That's doable, right? And then we get... What is that? That is the best they could come up with. Just look at it. Alright, what does he do? He walks around the square, and he can shoot you anywhere on the screen with infinite accuracy until the end of your health bar, and he does that 3 times a second. So unless you're hitting him, he's going to be constantly hurting. If you touch his legs, that's a third of your health bar. If you touch his mouth, he just eats you until you die. You lose if you touch his mouth at all. Here's my first attack. I have the best sword in the game. This couldn't be too hard, right? No. First of all, I'm fighting with a sword, so it's really easy to touch his mouth. Second of all, you can't hurt him with the best sword in the game. It's actually impossible. So, because you can't go to your inventory, you automatically lose. You just don't know it. Second attempt. There's a special sword that'll blow up his legs by throwing stuff at him. Great. Now all I gotta do is shoot him until he dies of it. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. And then I ate dinner. And I ate breakfast the next morning. And then I died of starvation. Nearly 24 hours of continuous shooting and was not dead. I was like, alright, what do you want to do? How can I beat it? The answer is, if you've blown out his legs, you can walk into his mouth, and you'll still live. But, if you have more than like 2/3 of your total health bar left, you might kill him. Like, all of a sudden you cut your way around from the inside and win. But how many people, after they die the first 20 times by doing this, are going to keep trying, walking into the mouth of instant death? Nobody! Like, there's no way that anybody would understand.
Wow. This does not look promising.
We tried to present Awesome Possum. Unfortunately, that was an unmitigated disaster because we weren't able to show you how the game works. But suffice to say, this year we are able to present you foolproof effort at this game. We have recorded it especially for you. Yay! So, what is so awesome about this game? Well, not a lot, because Awesome Possum is pretty much not awesome at all. But what's more awesome? Well, you got watching grass grow, you got licking envelopes for the PTA meeting, and grinding. But really, this deserves a demo, and hopefully you're not like that guy on the right there.
We recorded it.
Yeah.
10 Gen, not surprising. What? What? Supposedly.
And Awesome Possum was no exception. While many thought that we would have robots in the future to make our lives easier, for some reason, in Awesome Possum's bizarro future, the pinnacle of technological excellence is to build a robot whose sole purpose is to destroy the environment. But that just seems like a complete waste of time. Needless to say, a bunch of animal rights activists seem to have gotten very angry about this. And as a result, they sent out their only remaining weapon. Awesome Possum. And of course, here's the list of people responsible for this travesty. Be sure to remember these names, guys, so that you can avoid buying any game they had a hand in. Ah, at long last. Just what we were waiting for.
It's Captain Planet.
That was Dr. Machino. He actually has the right idea.
But horribly done.
Why did you guys rape Sonic?
Oh,
In fact, pretty much any action you could possibly do,
not at this point.
actually has something unique to say about it. Now, our hero's ability to say random things is actually touted as one of the key features of this game. Unfortunately, they did it to such an effect that it became used in pretty much everything. As you might have noticed, Awesome Possum really is nothing more than a lame Sonic the Hedgehog ripoff. Instead of a blue hedgehog who can run really fast and is trying to collect all the chaos emeralds, you play the role of a possum in a jumpsuit, trying to collect recyclables and talks way too goddamn much. Now, one question probably lingers in your mind, which is, for all the laziness that man has gone to destroy the environment, these robots sure are rather incompetent at doing so. I mean, they're just kind of running around with chainsaws. In fact, all they're really doing is just running around and maybe occasionally hitting our hero. They don't even have any sort of like artificial intelligence. Some technology. My guess? Dr. Machino is Dr. Robotic's mentally challenged husband. Have you ever gotten tired of jumping and running slowly through a stage? Why not jump on the back of a giant bee?
What?
Now, for some of you, this might bring back memories of another popular platformer which featured animals riding on top of other animals. But that platformer wasn't nearly as good as this platformer, because what would you rather have? A gorilla riding on top of a rhinoceros? Or an opossum in a jumpsuit riding on top of a bee? The end result of 20,000 years of human history. Robots with beanies and flamethrowers. Worst victory dance ever. And as if it wasn't bad enough, you also get quizzed on environmentalism. Anyone will find you not guilty of not caring about global warming.
Oh my God.
Rousing
That
summary
gator
of
was scary.
inconvenient truth, our hero lives to fight another day.
Why does that gator have a full set of teeth?
Al Gore's favorite
Exactly.
game.
I see.
Better keep your
Well,
eyes
that was
open,
fair.
guys, because Possum loves to use the hidden trap idea. In fact, you're pretty much going to run into it everywhere, so you may as well just give up trying to not get hurt. Personally, one of the worst parts about this game is that retarded opossum face in the upper left corner. I mean, or something. So, alright, you're willing to give Possum a chance. You can at least play it, right? Well, occasionally you'll get stuck, right? So, time to go look for an FAQ. Oh, wait. That's right. Awesome Possum is one of those games that doesn't have an FAQ because it's just that bad. The difference between this game and Sonic is the relative ease at which you can gain extra lives. After you collect 50 recyclables, you gain an extra life. One of the more annoying things about Awesome Possum is that once you get hurt, you don't gain temporary invincibility. Yes, that means if you start bouncing up and down on top of some spikes that you can't get off of, you'll be dying pretty quickly. Only enough to get Dr. Machino, though. Once you die, he takes your grave and your tombstone and puts it in a junkyard.
But that's not all. It gets worse. They actually had a copyright case about this. Oh, God. Yes, there was a copyright infringement case about Awesome Possum. It turns out that this Polytechnic fellow was actually suing Saga and Atari because they thought that he had stolen their idea. But suffice to say, the end result was that the judge found that it was not striking that another animal used the term awesome to describe a possum. So, what have we learned from all this? How awesome is this game?
Ridiculously.
The Granstream Saga. Anybody here? Anybody? Why?
No.
Nice.
I have been lucky enough
The
not
game
to.
asks you a simple question, to which you'll wish you had said no. The world is looking very bad for Granstream Saga. Certain doom approaches for its four continents, which are sinking into the ocean. And it keeps hammering the point home, telling you the world's going to end, that it will end in the worst way possible. Like, just really awful. And on top of that, an evil empire that also wants to conquer everything. So, not looking good.
The world is doomed.
What kind of
I
game
need
we
you
got?
guys.
Well, it's an action RPG, or fight one-on-one battles. It takes kind of a while. It seems okay for a while, like you can get these items for free by killing lots of enemies in a row. The only problem is, if you ever take damage, even once, you lose all of your built-up ability to get items. So you can throw your controller at the screen more often than you will getting items. Then, of course, you know your special moves, which don't work and aren't special. Like, they don't do more damage, not faster. They should leave you vulnerable for large periods of time. Many weapons you can choose from, swords, axes, and daggers. But if you're not using a sword, you're probably dead. What about magic? Well, you can't get it by going to an inn. It's super expensive to buy the items, and each spell costs a ton. So you'll never use magic, like ever. Maybe if you're curious. our earnest hero type. You gotta love those.
That's original.
And the two girls will follow him to the
As
end
well.
of the earth. Along with this horrible thing.
What? It has horns.
Comic relief.
And what?
Which absolutely does not need comic relief at all. Along with it will be some pirate crew guys, Gil and Gandor, and their jerk of a leader, Slazer.
Laser?
Tries to be a character, but he's actually a talking head like Zordon or something. Already really a character. Alright, how are we going to save the world? We're going to save it by having that girl do some lifting verses and bring the continents back up. What does lifting verses mean to you, the player? It means bad poetry. Like, seriously, probably some of the worst poetry you've ever heard. Like, come on.
What?
Oh, no, it's
Actually talking? Well, let me give you a example.
Oh, no.
No! Please don't. The memories are too terrible.
So, really bad. Now, how about this game being, when it's working as, depressing? This game is really, really depressing. That's why I wasn't prepared. Alright, let's do some minor depression to get you
That's
guys
wrong.
ready. Your uncle, a good guy, but he wants to go and fight the boss monster by himself. You better believe he's dead. Well, you probably expect that in these kind of games. Then there's this old scientist with an evil twin who wants to redeem himself for his evil invention. Of course he's going to die. He's going to explode. Then there's
Seems
Saga,
logical.
which is basically two towns on either side of this giant active volcano. Nothing can go wrong there, right? Until the Empire comes along and hits it with a big old torpedo. No, what are we going to do? Everyone's going to die. Well, we're going to land on one side and tilt it so that we can try to save these people. And we only take almost all of them as casualties. Like, that really wasn't so great. So here's our death count. It's getting higher in Iraq.
Half of the town.
At least we saved the other town from, oh no, giant earthquake. Alright, really not doing so. Now but there's a small story in here. It's the story of a girl named Irina. And you can save her from the lava. You don't have to, but you can save her from the lava. Later on, you'll be fighting these random monsters in a different palace, and suddenly it turns out one of them isn't so random. You found a note, and he's like, I'm being turned into an evil monster by that scientist. Tell my daughter I love her. So you have to go deliver the note to the daughter. You don't actually have to, I guess you can do this. And it turns out she has like the worst life ever. She hates her father because she doesn't know where he went, and her mother has died of a broken heart.
They have a cream for that.
Alive, but a monster who you just murdered. This is the point when she turns away from you and refuses to talk to you ever again. She'll turn away and be like not talking. Now, what did you get out of this? Did you get any items? Did you get any spells? No, you got that. You're only there to make you feel bad.
Wow.
So there we go. We're up to this guy too. Nice work. Alright, with that, you've got you ready for the rest of the game, which is going to be pretty much downhill from here. First up, the pirates. What the heck? There we go, pirates. Alright, so they're not looking so good. The Empire's like, look at our dumb swords, we're going to kill you. Yes, we do. Everyone dies. Even Gil dies. Also, Slazer dies, like the whole crew. But suddenly, in a surprise twist, they captured one of these members and brainwashed them instead. And it's Slazer! He's alive again! He's also evil, but whatever. He's back! He's back!
Oh.
And he's more of a jerk than ever. He's actually the guy that fired that torpedo into the volcano.
Oh.
What a jerk. It turns out, now we get left the main characters. And they don't die off camera. They die by dramatically self-sacrificing themselves. Like Slazer. Turns out that his being brainwashed was all a clever ploy, and so is killing all those people just so you take that ship and slam it into the Empire's base to knock out the shield for you. So he dies again. Now we escape, then we go to the place, and we escape to this deserted town, and suddenly all your main party members except you run off and die of starvation under an illusion spell. Right? Now you spend like the next fourth of the game running around trying to save them by doing all kinds of annoying things and getting many fun spells like genocide.
What? What?
We're done! Oh, wait, not so much. We need a dramatic self-sacrifice before we can break that illusion spell. And...
Oh my god! Those eyes!
I almost felt bad for him.
Merge the spirit merge.
Machino was still alive after all. How wonderful! He's assaulting the Empire at this point, but there he is. Ha-ha! Take that. And then he dies in your arms.
Wow.
Just so you can watch him die. So, you know, he's dead.
Wow.
Our invasion of the Empire, it turns out the Empire is too tricky for us. They cut off all the power, cut the elevators, and start breathing us to death. Uh-oh. Turns out Gandor has a clever plan. He knows the human body can conduct electricity. Wait, this isn't a clever plan at all. He's going to grab both of those power conduits like, buddy, I've got like a million swords and axes I'm not using. The whole game is made out of metal. What are you doing? And he's like, no, I must dramatically self-sacrifice. So now the platform works and Gandor is dead. So thank you, Gandor, for your brain. The Empire, and everything's going to be great forever and ever and ever. Ah, of course not. Turns out you need to go in that tower thing with the ridiculous Zordon face and sink to the North Pole and then freeze to death, which will allow everyone else to like the water recedes and everyone lives in the land. Is that a giant pigeon? But the
It looks like it.
He lets you off because he's such a good guy, and then one of the most touching moments.
Zordon?
Everything was great and the world was saved. Only with all this darkness and this red stuff and this guy says, you call it the reality paradox. Everybody.
What?
Got the whole world, and now we're dead.
Oh my god.
Deal with this guy. Turns out that was his little world he built. He feeds off of human emotions, like he causes pretty much all the war and greed and suffering, etc. He's a bad guy. He loves to tell you about it.
Oh my god.
All you really need to know is that you're one of those guys, like you ever had that kid who likes to talk in a deep voice to sound evil? Alright?
I don't talk in to sound evil. I already. Oh my god. Why does he have a beehive haircut?
If you kill him, everything gets better. Pretty simple. Alright, if somebody slays her...
What?
I thought we were rid of you!
Oh, yeah!
Again.
And then he's like, hey, I got a great plan. What? Super kill me.
Wow. For real this time. Also forever.
This time he's dead. Good. At least he didn't die in vain. Oh, wait. The guy's like, ooh, his soul was all angry. I gained power from him.
Oh, you suck!
Get it?
What are we going to do now? Well, how do we stop this guy? The power of love. The power of love always
Oh,
what they really mean is killing somebody that you love.
What?
Turning them into a sword.
What? That's... What?
The bonus prize, anyone who
No
kills
face.
this way, like there's a cycle of reincarnation for souls. No, they get obliterated forever and ever and ever.
oh my god!
Like
That explains Blazer!
Well, the game doesn't do this in cutscenes for you. It makes you choose and then kill them with your bare hands. So, I hope you're enjoying our little trip down Depression Lane. But finally, you got your sword, one of them's dead. You go to the final battle, and it's full of awful things, the guy can be super cheap attacks, but eventually you finally win. And now everything's great, right? No, you all die. But you do get reincarnated. And now this time, right, everything's going to be great, and there's no more unhappiness because we killed that guy, right? And then it turns out you're being pursued by soldiers in the middle of a giant horde of extinction between each other. So your actions have done nothing. That is, humans are terrible all the time, but thanks for playing. I say to you, don't play. Don't play at all.
You did one thing. You obliterated that one soul.
I guess you killed Marlo, you killed Slazer, you killed Laramie, and everyone's dead now.
I'm interested. This is weird.
That is the golden rule of Kingdom Hearts 2. If it's made by Square, it probably sucks. If it's made by Disney, it probably doesn't. And let's not forget the corollary, Bell's Theorem.
Wow.
I saw this and I knew I was in for trouble. So, I get the game and I'm all excited because, you know, it's Kingdom Hearts. Like, I played the first game and that was pretty good, and I'm going to think that this is going to be good too. You know, I'm going to play story and then wait a minute, no, the phone starts right in the beginning of the game. Oh my god! I'm starting, it's like, man, this is going to be alright. Anyway, I don't know what this place is, and then wait, what?
That's not Sora.
That's not Sora at all!
Oh my god, they stole the word.
I'll deal. You know, I'll just play the game, and, you know, there's this little sequence, you get to earn some money to go on vacation, and, you know, this won't be so bad. Oh, wait, we don't earn a lot of money doing it. Alright, well, fine. You know, at least I'll be able to get something great at the end, because whenever you have these ridiculous tasks that are difficult to do, you'll get something great at the end. Oh, wait! Nope, not at all.
Don't delete my money.
You know, I keep going through this terrible opening, and the writing is absolutely horrid. Like, let's just take a look. You get to meet Cypher at one point, and it's just horribly written.
It's romantic.
You gotta make it to the beach next year.
Yeah, we gotta get shot. The second vacation starts. Good afternoon, slackers. What are you doing out here?
Your shirt
What do
is
you care? I don't. Tell me anyway. I'm waiting for the ghost train. I'm waiting for the ghost train. You always tick me off. Maybe it's destiny.
Oh, Disney.
Let's be
I don't. This is.
Well, maybe, you know, random. Okay, well, let me
What is this? I don't
I
even.
make my way through it, and then all of a sudden, wait, that was just the beginning of the game? Now I get to start screen? I mean, yeah, I realize Square likes to do this, but I'm kind of expecting here, one of these games, I'm going to need 40 hours of gameplay, start screen, end of game. So, we play Sora, and we get Donald and Goofy too, even though they're still kind of terrible as a game. And, you know, we got a couple of new worlds that are pretty awesome. Olympus is old, but that's okay, because yours is pretty decent. And we have who again? Alright, I mean, okay, fine. But then we have the best world ever.
Agreed.
The problem was, suddenly the game designers decided, hey, wait, maybe he's having too much fun.
Dolphins.
Okay, so fine. You know, we're going to have terrible swimming sequences. It's going to be pretty bad anyway. But somehow Square managed to make it work. Yes, I made it a rhythm game. Yep, a rhythm game in my friggin' like hack and slash platform. So all right. You know, by this point in the game, I kind of figured out how the game works. And here's basically how it works. Basically, if you hit X, you win. You have to hit the triangle button, action commands. Occasionally you'll use drive because it's actually kind of cool. Notice I didn't have to use potions at all because when I did use magic, it was cure. I literally did not have to use magic at all to get up to this point. So finally, at this point, we're moving on to Port Royal. It's actually really cool because, hey, stay away from the magic. You have to use magic now, right? Well, no, not exactly. You just have to wait until they're in the mood. Yeah. So that wasn't very exciting anyway. So finally you get back to Hollow Bastion after you complete unlock all the worlds for that time, and oh good, we have
Timmy!
Wait a minute.
It's just ridiculous.
Wait a minute.
Big square characters turn into little pixies that go treasure hunting.
Can I kill them?
No!
So finally, we get a bunch of plot for no reason whatsoever, all of a sudden 15 hours into the game. No plot whatsoever up to this point, and then suddenly, here's 5 minutes, here's 15 minutes of plot, and you can't go through any battles. So, and on top of this, we had some random drama where Goofy randomly almost dies, but doesn't really, but really he just comes back to life and he loses all of his abilities and you have to re-equip them for no reason whatsoever.
That was my favorite part because it was so bad.
And then, Sora also acts angsty. Well, that's not something we've expected. That's not something I typically expect from Square, right? Evil villain. He's gonna have one of when you're looking at those evil villains, they're gonna have an awesome name, right? Awesome name. Nevanor! What kind of a freaking name is that? Someone was sneezing. It's reading my mind. They're sitting in the boardroom and Nora's we need to name the main character. And this one guy in the boardroom is Nevanor! And Nora's yes! That's it! And then all of a sudden, I beat the boss battle here, and then all of a sudden,
the other 2 games they did.
Roxas! Where the hell did he come from? Again! So you get this big reveal where you're supposed to save Kyrie, but what the hell are you supposed to do? It doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do. Oh, right! Somehow you're supposed to know you're supposed to go to all of the world all over again. Yeah. But finally, I go to all the worlds again, and where do I go again? Oh, right. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
I have a feeling we're not coming back.
At least we have Square stuff for the rest of the game. And according to the law of Nomura, it's going to be terrible the rest of the game. Let's consider, why are you going to save this? Why are you trying to save Kyrie? You're her friend? You only saw her for 15 minutes! Okay, so at least the game tries to reassure you that everything makes sense even though there's absolutely no sense to the plot anymore. It's just lost all meaning. And finally you get around to entering this weird password for some reason. What? This actually brought to mind another area of the game which had even worse music than anywhere else in the game.
Oh my god.
So, they're talking about a password here too. What kind of a password is it? What the hell kind of long password is that? You're supposed to remember that and use that as your password? Unfortunately, I'm a computer scientist, and for some reason, this is an easy password. That doesn't make any sense to me. I am personally offended, and it almost made me want to no longer be a PhD. But finally, we get to the end, and everything just goes to crap. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is a moon shaped like a heart for some reason. And then all of a sudden, Sora is the master of the Keyblade, he's the only one, there's something special about it, but then suddenly everyone has a Keyblade. Power Keyblade. And she doesn't even do anything, she appears and she's I'm gonna save Sora, and then she disappears from the next boss battle.
Keyblade is
And finally, right at the end, they try to shoehorn in another 15 minutes of plot right at the end of the game. And it just kind of doesn't make it stop making sense. So let's review. What part is a good game? Well, you gotta have good characters. And you gotta have good plot, helps to have that. And having a good game mechanic helps too. Unfortunately, Kingdom Hearts has none of these. In summary, Kingdom Hearts 2 is terrible. And even Mickey thinks so. You're a liar!
Wait, what was this one? Shining forward.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
That was gonna make us money.
Then Saga became evil. Instead, we know how to squeeze as much money out as possible. Let's make stupid action RPGs.
And Sonic games.
And Sonic games. All you do is just press the X button, maybe forward.
Oh my god. What? No.
Well, you start with small numbers and go to meaningless the huge numbers. But you'll never stop pressing X. That's the only thing you ever do.
What is
Levels
it?
in this game are big, but they're just a mess. Like, I don't know, let's look at that. Let's just look.
Wow.
What is this, Power Stone 2?
My brain just exploded.
I know, I'm just saying.
To let you know if you're
Just
going to
as
get murdered by going somewhere. Most of the time, it's either way too easy with one-shot kills for anything on the screen, or way too hard, so you'll die in like 2 seconds and have no
That's why I
idea
kept it down just
You're
to...
never challenged. You're either bludgeoned or catatonic. The strategy design in this game, well, that's the final boss. Wow.
This sounds delicious.
Terrible. And like, what is those?
Whale sharks?
Alright.
With teeth.
Don't be, this is not actually fun. It makes everything worse. Here's this great idea they had, and you're going to be able to get healed, like, all the time during certain battles. That's a good idea, right? Constant for 15 minutes. It doesn't matter how far away you get from that thing. So it's that.
Okay.
Alright, we got a lot we have in this thing. We got our characters, we got some useless pets, we got a bunch of side characters, none of which are any good. All the way from this tiny guy who would strangle if you weren't the player. This guy who just likes to roar a lot. Really deep characters and stuff. And then the bad guy. What do we got? Guy that likes to talk a lot, girl that's a slut. That's got a whole bad guy scheme going on.
Isn't that how it usually
But
is?
even those guys are nothing compared to the greedy merchant who loves your money.
What?
The greedy son who also loves your money. And the greedy daughter who will marry you to gold dig your money. That's their little
Yeah,
one
Trasinelli.
Then there's the blacksmith. You could not possibly get more generic than a guy that only talks about blacksmithing all the time. I kind of just wish
I have to buy
you
food.
know, sell me stuff and not talk.
Because it is delicious.
This is a translation which just confused me. It's like they had a dictionary of idioms from the 50s and didn't ever update it. Like, a tall drink of water. Like, I'm not really sure what that means. Ruminate. Do it. My favorite had to be this one. I had to go look up what the third degree meant because I had no idea what they were talking about. For those of you who care, it's a really old way of interrogating. Now, the plot is this.
So do I.
What's the plot? Well, we got this kid, and this kid finds a magic sword. And then with that sword, he's going to fight off 2 evil empires. He does one with
Sword chucks, you know.
At the same time, he finds time to take on the greatest challenges of the world.
A giant boar?
And be a hero.
That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Like a lava level. And a lava level. And a prison with lava in it. And of course, where would the bad guys be?
Oh, why does the red gun keep dying?
Well balanced out by ice levels.
Amazing.
The whole time, let me tell you that you don't care.
beg.
And of course, it'll take time for a terrible love story. Like one of those things you'd expect to come out of only the worst anime, where the characters don't look at each other and blush anytime the other one's in the room, and oh my god. It only gets worse when one of them gets brainwashed. No, and we've been sobbing, we gotta hug it. Oh my god. So what's the twist? The twist is there's not just one doofy sword, there is two doofy swords.
What's the twist?
And you need both of them. So we're gonna have to kill each other. Oh, that's a big twist right there. But the totally unforeseen twist that you totally won't see coming, you don't have to kill each other and everything will be great. Well, they didn't see that. And of course, then everybody makes up in the end, and everybody's happy, and the worst lines ever written appear on screen. And like, these guys hate each other. They built their entire civilizations around murdering each other. And then in 3 seconds, it's like, all right.
You're hot, let's not fight anymore.
Nothing in this game is going to prepare you for the voice acting.
Oh, no!
Now this is the merchant. Every time you talk to him, you will be treated.
Welcome. You're coming here to find sweet deals on fine items, eh? Are you
We're talking every single guy that guy talks at all. And what do you hear? What I hear every time a guy talks? Oh no, you have to click on. Gosh darn it. Yeah. What do I hear every time? I hear this. What are you doing? Oh, freaking. Alright, do it. There we go. Forget it.
You hear something annoying.
It's this guy. This guy.
No, press it twice. You have to.
It's broken. It's broken.
Oh no.
Oh, what happened to my space modulation?
That was beautiful.
Please don't play this game.
What's that?
Sometimes you must run.
That's my emotion.
Also, Kino.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you didn't know how to do that. You didn't know that. So what's next?
Oh my god. It's true, I love this. Every time I tried to play that, it didn't work. I love Crazy Taxi. I have both of them.
Okay, let's try again. You know, there was Simpsons wrestling. It's not like it had anything that was better than it. All right. There's got to be at least one. There's got to be at least one. Let's start with Simpsons skateboard. Right. That's right. There was another. All right, but let's be fair. You know, all of these were like in the past 10 years. They were all 2001, 2002. And Bart vs. the Space Mutants was in 1990. This was way back when the Simpsons first started. They were really cashing in on it. So maybe it might be good, except the plot sucks. Like the whole point is basically we're going to take over their bodies and no one will think we're space mutants. The end. That's it.
No one will ever
And,
suspect we are
here's some horrible animation to prove the point. It's supposed to be good. It wasn't working.
Yeah.
It's not actually. Yeah. Oh. But, you know, at least they're kind of smart, right? They're going to use purple colored objects to take over the world. Okay. So what are you going to do as Bart gets assaulted? You basically spray paint purple objects. Okay? But you can't spray paint all the objects. You actually have to know that you have to get on that damn thing and cover them. Now, I don't know why the aliens can't just lift those covers, take the purple objects, and run with them, but somehow you save the world. And, you know, then there's this bird that you actually have to know to use the friggin' bottle rocket to get rid of. Good luck knowing that.
Good luck aiming it.
Yeah. So, also horrible is how you can die. Now, you might not think that hurt me, but that actually killed me. And of course, you can't even jump. Like, here, I'm going to jump over those two things, right? Because you have to. You can't walk over them. Oops, I died. Let's try again. Oh, I died. Like, I am trying my hardest to jump over these, and finally I do it. You have to jump at just the right time. Good luck remembering that. And then, of course, you know, at one point in the level, you actually get to ride a skateboard. And for some reason, you can run into chihuahuas and die. And what happens when you die? You go to jail for running into a chihuahua. But what was the point of this game? Well, it just keeps going on like this. You have to later knock hats off of people's heads. Wait, what? Okay.
That's your plan to take on the world.
Yes, that's their plan. And notice, I couldn't get a Genesis shot at this. Like, I tried, and I couldn't beat the first level. It's that ridiculously difficult to beat. So, but that brings me to another point. There are actually this many copies of this game.
Amstrad, DOS, Game Gear, Commodore, Genesis, Master System, Atari, and NES. Wow.
So yeah, just don't do this. Don't play this game.
In the next level, the machine is powered by...
That was right in my ear.
Before this man ruined my life.
That was in my ear.
I have a great idea. Why don't you try it out? It's how I get all my bad ideas. So, here's the deal though. Here's the deal breaker. If you tweak any of those knobs 3 times, you gotta play the game that comes up. And I was like, well, he's smart enough not to do that. So bad, you guys are being bad, right? Forget that. So I was like, let's try the awful knob. See what happens. We're not gonna play with that anymore. There's a bizarre knob, and it was red and shiny, and I was like, man, I gotta try it at least once. Slingshot. That's a little more odd.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what? Crap, I'm just gonna tweak this thing 3 times. Got it back through me, he's like, yeah. It's time for you to play this game. And I look back and I'm like, yeah. And there is no game that incorporates Bible stories of Slingshot and a freaking Wolfenstein 3D.
Wolfen.
It's like the most sketchy thing ever. Like, I don't know what those things are or why they're there. It's so that question, but here's how it works. You gotta stick this into the SNES, then stick a real game on top of it to get this game to work. It's completely sketch. It doesn't work by itself. So what's the story? They tweaked the story basically like, no, rabid animals are on board the ark. And I was like, okay. And it's like, you have to shoot them with a slingshot. And I was like, okay. And everything on that damn proud I can find things. But too bad I'm always in a corridor. With more corridors. Like, what even is that?
Where are you, Where are you?
Store with more grass.
What?
The real point of this game. I don't know where I'm going. There's got to be a point, right? The point is to shoot demon ghosts. Well, they, you know, on the street, the worst part is so far, you just kill them like that. Like, well, this is really good. And these demon ghosts appear, and you shoot them. And like, that's really it. Like, that's the whole point of the game. Also, all you can do is shoot them. Cage them, I think not. Drown them, I think not. They can flip on stuff, the environment's gonna help you, I think not. Like, the whole game just hates me. And I hate it too. I'm trying a lot. What color? Where's my health bar? Where's my health bar? Oh, an ugly shade of brown. How about that? How about I can't find it anywhere? I wonder where the ammo is. Can you spot the ammo?
You're also a health pack. I didn't know you were a medic.
Color somewhere along the line. You're like, instead of ugly brown, we're gonna make ugly Mountain Dew yellow. This pretty much happens every time I get hit. But here's the catch. It also happens when I'm picking up items. When I'm out there picking up items, I think I'm dying. It's the greatest deal ever. Now here's the deal. I can pick up screws, right? And pretty much shoot the animals with it too. Except it's all a lie. I have to actually use use ammo. Now, how the heck do I get ammo? There's only like 2 pieces of ammo in the whole dang level, and it never respawns. So if I find it, and I shoot these stupid animals and miss, like, that's it. How else do I get ammo? I have to shoot the demon ghost to get more ammo. Like, that is a counterintuitive system. So if you ever run out of ammo, you die. Because the demon ghost will kill you because there's no other way to get ammo other than shooting them. The only way to shoot them is with your slingshot. Now, what's the reward if I actually manage to, like, get through this stupid thing? A demon ammo.
Oh my god. What?
Or trying to kill me, like, you know, like I'm just gonna die. Now, you guys want to know what this game actually ripped from Wolfenstein 3D, right? Like, to start with, you know, forget it. How about everything? Whatever. You guys are all laughing, but the next time you start laughing, just remember that demon ghosts are coming.
Oh my god.
This game is pretty much like the worst thing ever. Like, stop. It's awful.
So thank you for coming, folks. Hope you enjoyed it.
Let's see if I can get out of this chair now. Good? Want me to... Okay.